Hello, people of Earth and beyond. Today we're going to talk about spirits, what they are, and the fact that they attach to people, and then how you can fix the problem. If I can uncross my legs there, excuse the pajamas. So what is a spirit? It is an incarnated soul that has passed away and chooses to not pass to the other side or chooses to stay on Earth. Why is this dangerous? Because a lot of times these souls are lost. They don't really know what's going on, where they need to be. That sometimes that they're not even dead. They don't even know. And the reason is because in the astral realm or the fourth dimension, a lot of belief systems will say that everything consists of energy, right? Well, a lot of belief systems will also say these specific things are spirit as well. So everything has spirit. Rocks, logs, lakes, houses, because they're made out of materials, because every single thing on the planet has spirit in it. So when they die or pass away, everything looks the same to them. Everything has a spiritual reflection, so they don't even know. Sometimes people are haunted by relatives, ghosts that just don't want to pass over. So it's definitely something to be aware of. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think here. Just scooch over a little. Anyhow, so how? Sorry. How are they dangerous to people, right? So you'll see a lot of Hollywood stuff where people are possessed by spirits, or they're being scratched by spirits. The spirits are throwing things. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes they garner enough spiritual energy to scratch people, to throw things, to turn TVs off. Well, actually, they can interact with TVs in a different way, but still, they're soaking in energy. They're soaking in energy. Typically, it's fear. So they cause people to feel fear, and it exerts out of their energy field, and then they stand there and they soak up the energy, right? They're feeding. And then they use that excess energy to interact with things to cause more fear. And it's just a cycle. They get stronger and stronger and stronger. Some spirits live for that, live for the fear. I wouldn't necessarily call them demons. They're just really negative entities. So that's one way that they can be dangerous or interact with us in a negative way. The other way is, let's say you're abusing substances, or you work in a high-risk area, so like cemetery, hospitals, a place with a lot of drug use in it. So if you're working in a hospital and spirits are going to constantly come and go in and out of the hospital. Some of them stick around, and what they'll do, same with when you're abusing substances, is when you're in a high stress environment, or like I said, abusing substances, what it does is it wreaks havoc on your aura, especially if you're not taking care of yourself. It'll poke holes in your aura, or it will cause tears or ripples or cracks in your energetic field. And then these spirits will attach tethers to your energy field and then slowly move their way inside of the energy and start siphoning energy from you, and that is a spiritual parasite. Now, a lot of people don't realize that they have spirits or entities attached to them. A lot of times, people who are using substances, the spirit will have them continue. Like it'll push the feeling of the impulse them to, excuse me, it will push the feeling of an impulse to continue using that substance for them to continue to feed off of it as well, or the feelings that you get when you're using the substance. So it will continue to feed off of that. Spirits can also attach to you through blood. So if you're not just any kind of blood, but well, they kind of can actually. Blood is a powerful catalyst when it comes to spiritual energy. And while I don't know the specifics of this specific or of this certain thing, um, I do know that it is a powerful catalyst, and they can use it to attach themselves to you if your energy is broken enough. So, let's see how you can fix the problem. So, I read a lot, and I've come across a lot of different books from different realms. I read the Kybalion, I've read a Wiccan Bible. Um, so there's definitely different ways you can pull a parasite off of you. And in my experience, protection magic or candle magic works if it's a weaker entity or a weaker level of connection to you. Candle magic is one thing that you can use. But the thing that I would recommend is protection. And you can get protection from rocks that you can get at rock shops. You can buy rocks online, but I would be careful buying rocks online because a lot of times they're not as authentic. But if you set your intention into a rock, it can protect you, especially if that's one of the things that it's used for. Let's see. I had an experience with a parasite. So I was in the process of removing a parasite. I was supposed to do a ritual for 5 days. And on the 5th day, I was so happy to finally get it, because the more that I was doing the ritual, the more it was being removed from my energy field, right? And on the 5th day, what had happened was I did the ritual, and then I lay down to go to bed, and it's like I couldn't fall asleep very well. I have issues falling asleep. Sometimes I linger on the in-between between sleep and non-sleep. And I finally started to fall asleep, right? And in my dream, my friend, or someone who I perceived to be my friend, we were hanging out, talking, eating food, or, like the setting was just typical, like mall setting or just out in public, at a public park or whatever. And we were just chilling. And out of nowhere, he goes, "Hey, let's, let's sit down." I was like, "Okay." And he was sitting kind of like the way that I am. And he wanted me to sit in between his legs, which is kind of weird, but I was like, okay, whatever. We're friends. And everything faded in my dream. The background faded, and my friend's face faded. It was just a spirit in my dream. I couldn't perceive who he was, or who she was, or what it was. It was just this shade. It was just this dark shade, and he grabbed onto me, intertwined his legs onto mine, and he just held me down. And the background just kind of turned black, right? But it was like deep sea water. So like the water was black, and it felt like I couldn't breathe and like I was drowning. And of course, I'm not very good at lucid dreaming, but I can wake myself up if I'm in a panic. So I woke myself up and I couldn't move. I was paralyzed. And I was like, great, I'm still in REM cycle sleep or whatever. And but what it felt like was he was holding me down. He wouldn't let me wake up. So like woke up, I couldn't move, and then I fell back asleep into the dream. And like when my head hit the pillow, I fell backwards into the dream. It was crazy experience. And I was back there and he was still holding on to me, right? And I'm like, crap, what do I do? Well, Archangel Michael, he's really good for this kind of stuff, right? So I called Archangel Michael's name 3 times. And he showed up. I saw his bright blade. I didn't see him. I wanted to see him, but all I saw was his sword come down like this, like on the side of my face. And I woke up, still couldn't move. Well, I could move my fingers a little bit, and I was trying to move. Excuse me. And I was just sitting there, and I was just trying to move my fingers. I was trying to not be afraid, because I was terrified. Like, I just couldn't do anything, and I just kept like tried to stay awake. I did, and then I just fell back asleep into the dream. And he's still there, and he's just holding on to me, and I'm still underwater. I'm like, great, okay, so. And then I called Archangel Michael again, and I see the sword come down on the other side of me, right? And it seems like it's hitting this spirit, like. And then after I see the sword come down, right, I look up and I come out of the dream, right, and I can move my arms and my fingers a little bit, and my shoulders. So I'm like trying to arch my back, trying to like get myself out of bed. And I couldn't do it. And then I fell back into the dream again. So, I asked Archangel Michael for a 3rd time. And then that's what did it. The sword came down. I woke up. I could completely move. I was mobile. I was scared. I did not want to go back to sleep. I was like, nope. I got up. I started eating some ice cream. I was like, I'm done. But yeah, that was I have actually several experiences with parasites, but they kind of run into my past, and I'm not ready to talk about all that stuff kind of just yet. But that's the most innocent experience I've had with parasites, or spirit attachments. Like I said, most people have these spirits attached to them, and they just don't know, and they'll get certain reactions out of you just to feed off of that energy. So yeah. Sometimes when I'm sleeping, I don't know why, because I'm not a very good lucid sleeper, but sometimes when I'm sleeping, what happens is, like I was saying earlier, I go to an in-between stage, right, where I'm not exactly sleeping, but part of my brain is dreaming, and the other side of my brain is awake. And I think that's what you're supposed to do when you practice for lucid dreaming. But I just can't fall asleep sometimes, and I don't do it on purpose. But a lot of times, I can see a faint image of whatever it is that I'm dreaming, but I know I'm completely awake or aware. I wouldn't say awake, aware. And then my third my third. My throat chakra will open up, and I can hear everything clearly. Spirits, angels, demons, succubi, whatever I feel like hearing. But a lot of times, I'm not aware enough to make that decision, so I just end up hearing like what's around me. And sometimes they're cool. A lot of times, spirits are not nice. They're not nice at all. I don't blame them. They're just in pain, but you know, it is what it is. So, you know, I am R the Silent. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any stories about spirits, I would love to hear it. If you see them, if they interacted with them, if they're attached to you, just let me know in the comment section, which isn't something I usually say, but yeah, let me know. Alrighty, I think that's it. Yeah. So, my beautiful people, beings, have a wonderful night. Bye.